Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Steph. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a video that actually should have been my first video on this channel, but I actually didn't really know it existed, and I've been seeing a lot of these pop up on my recommended on YouTube. So this is the Booktube Newbie Tag, and I think this is probably like my 8th or 9th video, but regardless, we're still going to do it because I thought this would be a good way to kind of, for my followers that are new, or people who are just subscribing, for you guys to get to know me better. There are 10 questions in this tag, and I'm going to be trying to answer all 10 of them for you. Yeah, I just wanted to put out there that I did say that my book journal video is coming soon, and it still is. I'm just currently waiting on my tripod that kind of is easier to film downward angles, whereas this one doesn't bend that far, because I want to be able to show you the layout of my journal on my table and just kind of maybe do a page in the journal and show you how I set it up, which is kind of hard to do with the tripod that I have currently. And I don't want to be holding the phone while doing it, because I want to be able to show you how I paste things in and all that kind of stuff. So that video is still coming for people who had asked for it. But yeah, let's get right into the video. Okay, to start this out, I thought I'd introduce myself. Hi, my name is Steph, or Stephanie. I live in Newfoundland, Canada, and I'm 24 years old. I'll be 25 in September. So yeah, just thought I'd give a little bit about myself, and let's get right into the questionnaire. Okay, so I just wanted to say, if anybody wants to do this tag who's watching the video, I will leave all of the questions written out in the description box, or maybe in the comments, and it'll be like a pinned comment, so that way you can find it. I had quite a hard time finding a video that had the questions written out for me, so that would be nice to have that down below. So anybody who does this tag, it's just like, I don't know, something I'd recommend you do is write out the questions in the comments, so people don't have to click and pause the video every time you answer a question to be like, okay, that's the second question, or that's the third question. So I will be doing that in the video. So the first question I have here is, why did you start this channel? Honestly, I think I started this channel for a number of reasons. Obviously because I love reading, but I think the main reason why is because I don't have anybody that lives near me that I hang out with on a daily basis or spend time with that reads as much as I do, or reads at all for that fact. I normally chat about books and recommend books back and forth between my Snapchat group that I have between my sister and my best friend, and we kind of talk about books on there, and a lot of the time I buddy read books with my sister as well. So that's who I talk to about books. But I guess I don't have that many people who are reader friends, so I thought having a space where I can chat about books and people can recommend things, I can recommend things to other people, and just create a discussion in the comments of the videos. There has been quite a few videos that I posted recently where people have just left some lovely messages and have talked about books that I've read and what they thought about them, or have been like, thank you so much for recommending this book, I put it on my TBR list. Just things like that, it gives me a little bit of joy that I'm able to talk about the books that I like, and that people can also recommend them to me, and we can just talk about books, because honestly that's basically all I talk about. Okay, so the second question is one that I've just been like, oh, I really don't want to answer it because I don't know what to say, and that is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm just hoping that my personality shines through, and that maybe the fact that I mostly read romance. I feel like when I'm scrolling through BookTube and looking for books, I am just a romance reader. You can see on this side that I have some fantasy, but that's mostly what I read in school, and now that I'm older I read just romance, and I've tried to venture out, but it just puts me in a slump because I know what I like, and I don't want to feel pressured to read books that I don't enjoy. I think eventually I'll branch out and I'll, you know, as I get older, I'll find new genres that I like and this and that. But finding a channel on YouTube that's solely about romance is, I feel like it's kind of hard because everybody is really into the fantasy genre, and they show a little bit of everything in their videos, and I just really want to know about romance books. So yeah, I think maybe that's something that I could bring to the table. I'm not saying I'm the only one who only reads romance, because I'm sure there's ones out there that I just haven't found yet. But yeah, I feel like saying that I can bring something unique, I'm not too sure, because I honestly like following the trends on Booktube, and I am a sucker for popular books. Like if someone recommends me a popular book, if I see a book repeatedly showing up in videos, I'm clicking on it. Yeah. So I think that's all I'm going to say for that question. The third question is, what are you most excited about for this new channel? And I think I've kind of answered this already. And it's just, you know, building a community that I can discuss books about and recommend and just talk about books, because honestly, I love reading. Reading is something that I do pretty much every single day. So yeah, just having a space where I can chat about my passion and things that I like. So yeah, number 4, it says, why do you love reading? Honestly, I feel like it's an escape, you know, like there's, you know, a lot of things going on in the world and things in your daily life that may, you know, get you down and all that kind of stuff. And I just feel like reading a book takes you to almost like another dimension. You can be really involved in the characters and kind of forget about what's going on, or just be like so immersed in the book that you kind of forget that you're reading a book and it's not real life that's happening right now. And you can, you know, be excited when someone's excited in the book, or you can, you know, feel the emotions of someone who's sad, or a death in the book, or things like that. And also, you know, a good book is one that makes you feel all those emotions, that gets you embarrassed when something embarrassed happens. Like, you know, you feel the things that the characters are feeling. And I feel like reading is just a way to get into the character's mind space, and also experiencing what other people are experiencing in their lives, because, you know, you're maybe reading books about mental illness or romance, or, you know, there's lots of different things that come with books that maybe you don't have in your daily life that you like to experience. Even if you're a fantasy reader, maybe you're learning more about, you know, different worlds. And so yeah, so just taking you to real life and giving you a story that has a happy ending, just, there's just something about that that I just can't explain. So yeah, that's why I love reading. 5th question is, what book or series got you into reading? And I guess there's quite a few. I'll say, I guess the first time that I really got into reading and enjoyed something that, like, you know, wasn't a school necessary read, was in grade 4 or 5. I had a teacher who was just, I felt like she really like cared about her students and that, and she would have this time in her, I think it was an English class, where she would just get us to read silently for a certain period of time. And you could either bring a book from home, or you could go to the back of the classroom where she had this little library of all of her books that she read as a child, or that she has accumulated for all of the students. And a lot of other kids came to her class because she had lots of books that were in her personal library that, you know, weren't actually the school's. And she introduced me to these books that she used to read, which are by the author called Beverly Cleary, and they're children's books, obviously. I'll find some pictures of them and like post them up on the screen. But one that really stuck with me is called Beezus and Ramona. think I own the book, actually. Hold on, I'll get it. Okay, so here's the book here. It's called Beezus and Ramona by Beverly Cleary. This is actually the movie cover. This got turned into a movie, which was when I was a little bit older, but honestly, I loved that because I felt like my childhood had, you know, come to life on screen. And basically it's just about this girl who's the younger sister, and they always call her the pest. She just gets into lots of trouble, and I feel like she's misunderstood, and I just loved the family dynamic of this book, being a younger sibling and all that. So that definitely got me into reading when I was younger. I remember reading so many of these books, but this one here I did buy on paperback just for the nostalgic reasons, I guess. But I guess what I can say got me more into reading later on in life would be in high school. We had so many books that we were like had to read for class, that they were mandatory books, and none of them really were like interesting to me. Either they weren't at my level of reading, or I just didn't really care about them. But the one book that my English teacher actually got us to read and we did a paper on was The Hunger Games, and I loved that book, and it had been out for a couple years before I had read it, and I honestly wouldn't have picked it up if it wasn't for school. After we read that book, I continued on with the entire series, and then I started reading the Divergent series and things like that. So I think that is what really got me into reading. What got me into romance, I would say, is the After series by Anna Todd. And I started reading those at the beginning of last year, and I have just been reading a lot nonstop this year. So yeah, those are a few series and books that got me into reading. Okay, question number 6 is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Honestly, I have a lot of booktubers that I watch, and I can't even tell you all the names of them because I find new ones every day. I feel like I am always scrolling for books and recommendations. I feel like I watch as many videos as books I read, maybe even more. I feel like what I would ask is maybe some like editing tips and stuff like that. I'm definitely not that great at editing, and sometimes my videos can be a little bit choppy. Yeah, I feel like making the videos is so much fun, but the editing process is not so much. So yeah, maybe that's something I would ask about. Number 7 is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Definitely, like I said, the editing part, but I also feel like maybe negative comments. Also, when you're starting a channel, obviously you're talking about books that you like to read and you're recommending books, or doing videos like I do where I like to rate the books that I read. I feel like that could be some challenges to overcome because some people can be you know, pretty hardcore fans of a certain series or a certain book, and if you don't feel the same way, sometimes people take it to heart and they'll leave nasty comments and stuff like that. So I feel like definitely want to be as authentic as I can, but at the same time being as not as harsh, I guess. So like if I don't love a book, you know, I'm not going to talk about it nonstop. I'm just going to say what I rate it and that kind of thing, and move on. And I feel like sometimes when I'm watching videos and people don't like a book, they can just really drag it out and make it seem like super horrible when there's a lot of other people that enjoy that book or are really big fans of that book. So I feel like maybe that's something I would have a little trouble with. 8, when did you start reading? I've been reading since I was really young, like I said, probably grade 4 or 5, but when I really started like, I guess like hardcore reading all the time is at the beginning of this year, is when I really got back into reading. And honestly, when I start doing stuff, a lot of the times I'll do it for a couple months and then I'll just be like, eh, and you know, do something else. I have lots of different hobbies and all that kind of stuff, but I feel like, you know, we're halfway through the year and I've read so many books. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So I would say beginning of the last year is when I really started picking up reading again, but the beginning of this year is when it's really stuck and when I started reading every day. 9. Where do you read? Honestly, I read everywhere. More so in my living room on my couch or in my bedroom. Sometimes I read at work on my break as well. I'll read on my phone. Yeah, I definitely feel like during the summertime I want to read more outside. But yeah, I mostly just read in my apartment. What kind of books do you like to read? Love the romance genre. It's all I read right now, but I did love fantasy and I love watching videos about other genres and I can appreciate other genres and what goes into it and all that, but I am a romance lover and that is all I read. So that is all the questions I have, and hopefully you guys got to know me a bit better, and maybe this prompted you to also do this tag. If you're a booktuber as well, leave a comment down below and I'd love to check out your channel. I'm always looking for booktubers, whether they're big or small. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and happy reading. Bye!